Hey everybody, I'm Ryan. Today, we're going to talk about Maldraxxus in World of Warcraft lore. If you want to learn more about anything I mentioned in the video, links to those will be in the description if I've done videos on them. Maldraxxus is one of the 4 ruling realms of the Shadowlands. It is the core of the Shadowlands military, whose job is to protect the Shadowlands from outside threats. The first ones knew that the Shadowlands needed to be protected, so they created Maldraxxus. Even if Maldraxxus looks evil and rough, beneath it all, a noble purpose is served. When souls die, they're judged by the Arbiter and sent to one of the infinite realms of the Shadowlands that fits their soul the best. Souls that are relentless, warlike, and strive for greatness are sent to Maldraxxus. They fight against one another to prove who is the strongest, so they may rise in rank. Strong that are struck down are risen into undead by necromancers, so they may continue fighting for the Shadowlands, while the weaker ones are turned into Anima fuel for Maldraxxi weapons. Maldraxxus is split into 5 houses, which focus on using different forces in protecting the Shadowlands. The House of the Chosen is the home of the most powerful warriors and champions. The House of Constructs is the home of Stitchmasters, who take the corpses of those slain in battle to the House of Constructs and stitch the corpses together into a new form, an abomination. They are given a purpose that is greater than the sum of its parts, and they are the backbone of the military here. These abominations are more advanced than those in Azeroth, not rotting away, and don't possess the brain damage of the Scourges, and thus are more intelligent. The House of Eyes is the home of the most witty and cunning of souls sent to Maldraxxus, whose purpose is to gather intelligence from the world of the living and the dead. The House of Plagues creates dangerous biological weapons and plagues to use in war. Finally, the House of Rituals holds Maldraxxus' sorcerers, necromancers, and liches, where those who are strong in warlike magics go to defend the Shadowlands. Maldraxxus, in fact, is where necromantic magic first developed, raising the dead, who use the undead to defend the Shadowlands. This knowledge was obtained by the Nathrezim, and through them, mortals. The powers of Maldraxxus were harnessed by the Lich King and the Scourge in creating his undead army. Via the nature of Maldraxxus being the home of the ambitious and strong, it creates sort of a challenged hierarchy, with everyone working to rise to the top. This has been exacerbated because the leader of the realm, the Primus, was missing. So now the 5 leaders of each of the houses work to gain that power. While the Legion was wreaking havoc upon worlds in the physical universe, the House of Eyes was gathering information on them. One of their best spies was the Baroness Draka, who in life was an orc warrior of the Frostwolf Clan, who died protecting her child, Goel, who is known as Thrall. Draka and the House of Eyes were working to thwart the Legion's plans in destroying the physical universe. The worry was that if the universe was wiped out, there would no longer be mortal souls traveling to the Shadowlands. Strangely enough, around the time the Burning Legion was finally defeated, souls stopped arriving at Maldraxxus. This led to an extreme Anima shortage, the power that the Shadowlands use, that comes from souls. Then, the House of Plagues was attacked and totally wiped out due to the betrayals of the House of Rituals and the House of Constructs. Before the House of Plagues fell, they were in dire need of Anima and was asking for help, which they received from the House of Rituals, but led to being part of their downfall. Draka is given an important message to deliver to the House of the Chosen to organize the defense of Maldraxxus, but as Draka left the House of Eyes, it was destroyed, like the House of Plagues. Draka had to fight off an ambush by the traitor houses, and she delivered the House of Eyes' final message to the House of the Chosen. The House of the Chosen and Draka then worked to prepare to fight against the remaining rebelling houses for the survival of Maldraxxus and the Shadowlands. The Maw Walker arrived at Maldraxxus after these rebel houses attacked Bastion. The now Baroness Draka then finds the Maw Walker and recruits them to the House of the Chosen. to help them fight against the houses that have betrayed Maldraxxus' purpose. The Maw Walker participates in a trial that many of the Maldraxxi soldiers go through and finds an unfinished rune blade, which is reforged by Bonesmith Heirmir. The runes on the blade were similar to those on the seat of the Primus, which had been sealed off since the Primus disappeared. It seemed that the sword could be used as some sort of key. The Maw Walker then finds Baroness Vashj, the other Baron of the House of Eyes before it fell. They worked together to kill the Lich, Mor'Bitan, which was her last mission before the house fell. As they did, a rune was dropped, which was used to light up the second rune on the seat of the Primus. Baroness Vashj was then happy to join the plight of the House of the Chosen and take vengeance for her fallen house. The House of Constructs is taking corpses of Kyrians from their attack on Bastion to be used to create a construct made entirely out of Kyrian body parts. When the Maw Walker discovers this, he kills Baron Halis, while also discovering the third rune to unlock the seat of the Primus. As I mentioned, before the House of Plagues fell, they accepted help from the House of Rituals. Through that aid, Margrave Stradama was turned into a monstrous slime creature. The Maw Walker confronted the Margrave, and when she retreated, she left behind another rune to open the seat of the Primus. Afterward, the House of Constructs conducted another attack, this time on the House of the Chosen, and killed Margrave Krexus. With the house without leadership, the Maw Walker goes into the Maw to rescue their missing Baron, Darion Mograine, while also recruiting his Death Knight son, Darion Mograine. To Draka's horror, when Alexandros returned, he tells her that it was Baron Vyraz who sent him into the Maw in the first place, and was a traitor. Alexandros and the Maw Walker then confront Baron Vyraz, but could not defeat him. However, during the fight, the rune blade is charged by the fifth and final seal. The seat of the Primus was opened, and the rune blade was presented before the statue of the Primus within, and a warning sounded. The Primus's voice says that the jailer was the one who defeated the Primus, and if there's any hope in defeating him, the other Eternal Ones must be warned. The Maw Walker then moved on to deliver that warning, next to Ardenweald. Later on, Baroness Vashj began working with the Maw Walker to attempt to get the House of Eyes' fallen necropolis up and running. In the process, she steals the necropolis Zerekriss. Alexandros Mograine then works with the Maw Walker to restore Maldraxxus' honor in driving the Maldraxxi rebels from Bastion. Alexandros then works with the Paragon of Courage, Xandria, and the Kyrians to attack the House of Constructs to take revenge on the attack on Bastion. In the attack, they defeat Margrave Gharmal. They also discover that the House of Constructs had a horde of Anima from Revendreth. They learn from the Accuser on Revendreth that Kel'Thuzad is behind much of this and is working with the jailer and Maldraxxi in the House of Rituals. Kel'Thuzad betrays the leader of the House of Rituals, Margrave Sin'dane, and defeats her. The loyal Maldraxxi then confront Kel'Thuzad and defeat him, but not before he is taken back into the Maw by the jailer, reclaiming his puppet. Margrave Sin'dane joins with the Maldraxxi loyalists, even though she was one of the ones who originally engineered the rebellion. For now, Maldraxxus is united, with the House of Rituals reconverted, the House of Constructs defeated. They stand as the military of the Shadowlands, ready to fight against the evils of the jailer. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Obviously, I'll have to do a part 2 at some point when we learn more about Maldraxxus and get more Maldraxxus story. Be sure to check me out on other social medias. Those links are above me and in the description. Now, if you're ambitious, I'll see you in Maldraxxus. Bye-bye.